Hey guys, welcome to my channel, A Nice Edge. Today we're going to do a review on the F.Dicks SM-111. We'll dive into the manual. This manual, to me, there's 6 different languages in it, so you gotta think English is the middle column here on the left side. And honestly, I don't really like this manual. There's a lot of information, but in my opinion, not a whole lot of good information. It doesn't really even go on too much about the different degrees. There's only four different degrees you can put on this machine, which I do not like. It only goes, I think it goes from 12 degrees to an 18, which to me, for the majority of knives, is a little bit too steep. But that is the relief angle, so you can put a higher degree with the honing wheel, and that here's adjustable. I think it's preset at around 20 degrees. So, but it doesn't really, honestly, this is the thing. It gives you, like, I guess, a little bit of the theory of, okay, pulling it and then pulling up towards the tip, but honestly, I'm not very impressed. And one thing I do not like is the fact that it doesn't tell you the degrees, what degree angle you're on. So you kind of just, pretty sure it says preset to 20, and then you kind of just have to, more or less after that, I guess, depending on what your need is. So it kind of explains a little bit of the knob there. Larger, smaller, smaller knife, thicker knife. And just the basic theory of how to use that. And unlike the SM-10, this one or SM-11, yes, oh jeez. Unlike the SM-10, this one does have the polishing wheel. That's the added feature. Now, this machine, by all means, has the capability of putting a really good edge on a knife, and I'll show you a knife that's been sharpened with this. But at the same time, it does a lot of damage. It's not, you know what, this is not the knife grinder for you if you're thinking about just, you know, it's like everything I read before this said, oh, perfect for knife sharpening business, blah blah. You know, it has the potential for a very high output, but it comes at the cost of the quality, right? So I'm going to show you a little example of that, and it's right here. Now this is what you get with this machine. I've used an assortment of tapes. I've used basically everything you can imagine to try to alleviate that, but it is basically impossible. And that is due to, I don't know if you can see here, but when you're grinding the knife, metal particles start to get built up on these guys, and because of that, it grinds against the knife and causes that damage. So, and for that reason, I absolutely dislike this machine. Now these machines cost, American, it's $2,000 or $2,400, $2,200, something around there. The SM-110 is less, but for the money that you're spending on this, it's freaking extremely disappointing, extremely. But I'll just carry on with a little bit of the manual. Here's how to redress the stones. You gotta do that once. It tells you. I think you'll probably know, but I think it does tell you how often. I've never had to do that because I've only used this machine a few times because of the results I was getting. Now I've made complaints to Dicks, and I've made complaints to the people that I bought it, and I got something worked out, and I'm actually going to have this sharpener returned because I am so incredibly unhappy with it. You know, this machine. Okay, so here I'll just go on with manual a little bit before I go on this giant rant. So it tells you all the spare parts, tells you how to service the machine, you know, the different parts and stuff. Here's the parts catalog, all the different parts. So overall, I really don't like this manual. It seems thick, but the real information that you're getting from it is actually very small because only 1/6 of the manual is English. So not very helpful. Here's your little thing. There's an attachment on this right here, and then you just put it up and then you grind it. I've never, like I said, I have never done it because I didn't have the need to, because I will no longer be using this. That being said, for a butcher shop or let's just say a meat processor where you have tons of not expensive knives and you're going through a lot of wear on your knives, maybe this machine could be for you. Let's just say if you don't mind a little bit of damage on your knife, then so be it, right? So if you're there, I think this sharpener could be good for you because it does put a very good edge on the knife. Now, the other thing is that when you're putting the knife through, so it's just very simple. There's magnets on the side that holds the angle, and then you just have it on, and then you just turn it up, just like that. So, but as you can see, yep, okay. And then from there, so you go back and forth. There's a couple videos online exactly how to use it. It doesn't give you a run through how to use it, but you see the example of it. So you can see, you can hear that, you can tell that running across that with those metal particles there is definitely going to scratch your knife. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Now from there you go, and then you just do this. You do that. You do that like 5 or 6 times. You're feeling your edge the whole time, seeing how it's coming through, making sure it's good. Now another thing with this is that when you put it in here, and you the stone only sharpens, like you can almost see it too, right? It just starts sharpening there. So you can put the knife in this far, but it's only starting to sharpen around like I don't know if you can see it. I don't know, but it only starts sharpening pretty far back, which is not good, in my opinion. So there's that issue. There's the scratching. Now even these guides. You see these guides? These guides are, you put the knife in and look at this. They wobble. Well, that's not tight. But they still wobble, right? So if you're I don't know, you don't put much pressure on it, but I mean, at the same time, you don't want your guide just being flimsy like that. It's just freaking stupid. And to change your angles here, you gotta take it off, lift the thing up, pull it out, flip that up, and then turn this. It's kind of a hassle, you know. I don't know, not a big deal, but I find it annoying as well. I'm sorry to nitpick, but it's just when you don't like this machine, you look at everything wrong with it, I guess. Now this polishing wheel is pretty good. It spins away from you. It comes with a little polishing compound there, and that does a pretty good job. This is freehand, this part, and you're just going. Do that a few times. So that does a pretty good job. Like I said, the machine does a good job. If you're working at a butcher shop, you're working in a meat processing plant, and you want a machine that can sharpen knives quickly, but at the same time is not going to yield you a very good result on your blade. So, like I said, very disappointed in this sharpener. I spent alert of money on this machine, and now I'm getting it returned because of those reasons. Now, there's no reviews on this online. There's a couple, like you see maybe a couple on Amazon or a couple of the other sellers. Maybe you'll see one review of some guy. And I don't know if the other guides were better than these, but I know for a fact these ones suck. They absolutely suck. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention here. Here, you put your water down here. Oh, that looks pretty greasy. I clean that out. You put your water down there for your two drums. So that's a good thing too. They're water cooled. It does a pretty good. Doesn't heat your knife. But what other complaints do I have about this machine? Oh yes, I probably don't have an example right here with me right now, but the thing with this, if like a flat grinded knife is not bad, but as you can see, the magnets are right down there by the edge. So when you have a knife that's a hollow grind knife and you put it in, it wants to tip up like this. So the whole time you're doing it, you're actually fighting to push it back, and then when you're pushing back, look, you can see that the guide is shaking back. So you're doing that. Plus, you can't grind all the way in, especially with a knife with guards on them or bolsters. Like you can't get in there. So that's really frustrating. Now, I would never sharpen anybody's kitchen knives with these, and that was kind of my the reason why I got it. I wanted a high output knife sharpener that could sharpen a lot of kitchen knives quickly, and I can't do that because I'm just damaging all the freaking knives that I'm using, so I'm not going to do that. So thankfully I'm gonna be able to get this returned. Let's run through here. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments below. I will 100% respond to any comments that you guys make, or any questions, whatever. Just write in the comments. And I'm currently making my own knife sharpener, so I'm probably gonna do a run through of that process of that. It's gonna be 10 times cheaper and hopefully do a much better job than this not so good knife sharpener. But yeah, like I said, there's no reviews on this. Every review, there is a few, but every review sounded like it was pretty good. But at the same time, it is not. It definitely is not. Now, some people complain about the plastic. Now, I don't. The plastic doesn't do any, on the shell here. I have no complaints about that. It's just a shell. It doesn't do anything. But the fact that the guides are plastic is absolutely horrible. Like I said, bendy. Now with these magnets, it just couldn't be worse. It's just absolutely horrible. Now they say that these stones are good up for I think they say 1,000 or 3,000 knives or something like that. And I just remembered it says these need to be redressed every 1,000 uses, or 1,000 movements, I guess. So every time you pull the knife, then 1,000 pulls, and then those have to be redressed. But they flip around, so you get extra use out of them too. So that's pretty good. What else? I don't know. I kind of been rambling on here. Just pointing the camera at this machine. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And I looked on YouTube, I looked everywhere, and I could not find a review on this machine. I just could not. But I did trust the F.Dick's brand. I know they make very good kitchen knives. and I've heard a lot about the RS-150 maybe. I think that's what it's called. I've heard a lot of really good things about that machine, so I thought that carried on. And I listened to a few people online that sell them, so don't listen to those people. I am not trying to sell this by no means. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got.
So we'll end it off here with the second and third stage of the sharpening, honing and polishing. I didn't do the first stage because, like I mentioned before, the brushes were worn out and just water continually spilled out of the machine. And I didn't want to fill up the machine just to have it spill everywhere, then have to take all the water out. I'm literally sending this machine back a couple minutes after I'm done this video. I just wanted to make this video before I was sending it back. So this is basically more or less a warning to people out there. Unless you own your own butcher shop, I would say this is definitely not the machine for you. So yeah, please like, subscribe. If you have any other questions, comment below. I'll definitely get back to you. I'm currently in the process of making my little prototype knife sharpener. Um, it's turning out pretty good, so I'll definitely have a video up pretty soon of that. So subscribe and have a great day. Thank you.